The narcissist has really, really hurt you. They have betrayed you. Possibly there's been infidelity. There's new supply. Maybe they betrayed you financially. But yet, you just can't get them out of your head. In fact, you still continue to reach out to them. Even though it's obvious that they're not interested or that they're just playing games with you, and then they start to ghost you, you only get breadcrumbs, but yet you still keep attached to them. You still keep thinking about them. You even daydream about one day when things are going to work out. If this is something that you are continuing to experience, then I want you to stay engaged with this video, because it could really help you. Because once you find out why this keeps happening to you, it might help you to start to do some things differently. Welcome everyone, my name's Marina Backer. I'm an educator, author, coach, and I help people to recover from narcissist love abuse. I'm a firm believer in education, meaning that we need to really understand what is happening to ourselves, what someone else is trying to do to us, so that we can take control. Waiting for another person to change, waiting for that person to reappear in our life completely different, so then we can feel different, is not the way I recommend you go. First, you attend to your own healing, and then you decide if that person is who you really want in your life. Too many times, empaths stay attached to the narcissist. Even though they don't see the narcissist anymore, they can't get the narcissist out of their head. Every now and then they may even reach out to the narcissist. Sometimes they even still continue to look at the narcissist, their social pages, and they don't understand why. Consciously, the human part of the brain knows exactly who they are and that this person is not good for them. But things are occurring at a deeper level, a more subconscious level. Because you see, when a narcissist has betrayed you, this is what we then will experience trauma. So what is trauma? So trauma is when an event occurs, but we don't have the resources, the internal resources, even external resources possibly to deal with at that time. So what then occurs is that we freeze. We call trauma frozen moments in time. It means it hasn't been processed. The emotions, the whole event hasn't been psychologically or biologically processed. So what will then occur to cope with this is that we then experience repetition compulsion. And Sigmund Freud coined this term. And it's wanting things to occur, to return, I should say, back to its original state. So remember, you've been involved with the narcissist, things have been going really well, you've experienced a honeymoon time, even if sometimes there were just few events that occurred and they were positive and you still have a relationship with this person, you may have built up a fantasy, or you may have built up a story that this person is very loving or very kind. Whatever has occurred, repetition compulsion is wanting to bring something back to its original state. Therefore, you continue to repeat certain behaviors, which are compulsive, which means I just automatically, we're just doing them, so you can experience things the way that they were, or the way that you want them to be. Oftentimes, many empaths have also experienced childhood trauma, childhood abuse, and this can also then obviously set the stage for the type of partners you engage with, possibly emotionally unavailable people who aren't going to give you that emotional sustenance. And so therefore you're triggered all the time to go into people-pleasing response and believing that you've done something wrong. When we experience repetition compulsion, you are not conscious, it's automatic. It's just like it just keeps happening. So what is the answer to all of this? The answer is that you have to sit still long enough to allow yourself to live through whatever occurred. You don't actually have to go through it again, because some people, actually reliving that trauma, they can't do. But you have to actually come to terms with what happened. There has to be an acceptance. And this is why we say your healing work is very, very important, because you are not seeing the narcissist for who they are. They are someone who hurt you, who betrayed you. Even if the person isn't a narcissist, but they are not emotionally available, and they may show that they are interested in you and then they pull away. They're not giving you anything, that is actually going to help you to grow emotionally. So if you are experiencing repetition compulsion, this possibly high probability is what keeps driving you to want to fix things with the narcissist. And that's why when the narcissist comes back, many empaths go back into the relationship. There isn't any evidence possibly that things are going to be different, but it's just assumed. Yep, it's going to be different. We're going to get back together. I'm just going to do a collapse and submit, and I'm just going to pretend that everything's okay. And so then even when you're back with the narcissist, you are repeating things again and again to get a different result, because you want things to go back to those glory days. You want things to go back to when the narcissist really showed you how much they loved and cared for you. So even if you are not with the narcissist anymore and you've broken up with them, and if the narcissist does have new supply, you are still replaying things in your head again and again. So you may as well be right back there with them, because you're not in your present moment. Now, I do hope that today has helped, and this is why your healing work, sitting down, talking with a therapist. Why do I just keep repeating the same type of things? Sometimes we want a person to change because it's going to make us feel good. See, they chose me. They did choose me. Well, that's obviously rooted in self-esteem. And it's not an empath's fault for experiencing this. This is what we're left with. It's part of our survival. Remember, that trauma was so traumatic. You did not finish the experience. You did not finish actually processing what occurred for you, because you went into the biggest shock for many people. How could this person have done this to me? Remember, we don't know who they are, so that when they actually do show up and present themselves, the mask slips, you think, how did I get this so wrong? How did I get this so wrong? So the way that we're designed for our survival is that we will then go into trying to fix it. And to try to fix it, we have to believe that we were to blame. And this is when, of course, the narcissist is very good at doing this, because this is all the gaslighting. So if you can't get the narcissist out of your head, and if you're the one who continues to engage with them, if you're the one who even baits them so that then they keep reaching out, or if you're still engaging with them and you're still in conflict with them all the time, then that shows you have not healed, and there is something, a need that you're trying to have filled. So it's best to find out what those needs are, and then it's best to go and do your inner child work or whatever trauma healing work you need to do, so you can finish the experience. As I said, it doesn't need to be that you actually have to relive the trauma, but you do have to come to some kind of peace, some kind of acceptance. Remember, you're grieving. It's a big loss what people have experienced, a big loss. And you don't have to have experienced trauma in early childhood either, or during your childhood. It's going to happen when there is this type of betrayal, and it was done in the name of love. We are the most vulnerable in love. We're totally exposed. And yet, here are people who won't go and do that healing. And then, of course, empaths are left carrying it all. They're left carrying it all. How did I get this so wrong? Well, how weren't you going to get it so wrong if people showing you a certain way that they're engaged with you, that they really like you. And then, of course, we've got labels for these people. You know, they're emotionally unavailable, they're scared of commitment, and on it goes. But it's the empaths that have been left carrying it. We're the ones that have been left trying to work out, what did we do? Why did I get this so wrong? I have to change. I have to change. I have to expect less. I have to push down my feelings. All right, I hope today's helped. Take lots of care and let me know your thoughts on today's topic, because it really is a very important one in regards to healing. Bye for now.